Hey, Spaz.
Quack.
It's still the off-season, Spaz.
Quack.
I can't with you. What is going on, everyone? It's like we haven't been here in a long time. Because we haven't been. How's
No,
everyone doing tonight?
I was a year younger last time we were here.
That is true. Spaz is currently getting older. Not
Yes,
just
I
day by
am.
day, but legitimately older.
Now it's year by year.
That's right. But welcome in, everyone, to the Oregon Ducks live show right here on the Voice of College Football Oregon channel. It's just me, Ben of Exploring with Ben and Sam. I can't talk. Feels like I haven't done this in a long time. Spaz, how are you doing tonight?
Right? I'm all right, man. I'm still festive and alive and doing well.
And we've all needed some little off-season break, kind of clear our minds of everything. It's good
Yeah,
once in a while.
kind of refresh the soul a little bit and get back into the flow.
Yeah, and it's not like there's still not a lot to talk about. It's just smaller
There's not a lot
trickles.
to talk about.
There's still smaller trickles of news and different things, but there is some stuff to talk about, obviously. And we're going to be getting into some of that. But I do want to remind people as we do this, and I always forget, please do consider hitting the like button. It's free, takes a second, helps the channel a lot. Consider subscribing and maybe share this out a little bit. Get some new viewers in here, help grow this channel and this brand, and support for the Ducks because we're here all year round, basically, especially in the season. That's when whew, it's a madhouse during the season.
Yeah, especially on Saturdays, and it's going to probably be a little bit of a more madhouse. But that's why, see, I'm going to the spring game because even though I don't have credentials, I could probably kind of hang out with Spencer a little bit and kind of get an idea of how things roll.
Yeah, I'm sure Winters will be there. Ryan Winters will be there. You might be able to get a little. The spring game is kind of nice because, like you say, you get a little more access to people that you might not normally get access to.
Yeah. Well, last year I that's how I met Ryan Winters and Max both in person.
Well, there we go. And yep, and Frankie's
Did you
correct.
get a message to Max?
I did. I didn't hear back.
Uh,
I'll
uh,
try again.
I got something today. He liked my reply of congratulating him on his engagement.
Ah,
He said thank you back.
well, again, he's probably been busy, so he probably just literally missed
Yeah,
my message. He probably got a bunch of them, and it was just one of those times where everything gets overloaded. So
yeah,
it happens. It happens. Well, Spaz, despite 31 days apparently till spring game, which I think it's 30 now, but might be 31. What? Who's counting? We have some sad news to talk about.
it is 31. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have some sad news, Spaz. Sad news.
Oh, who left?
Both the men and women's Ducks basketball season is over,
Oh yeah, yeah,
all in one foul swoop within about a 10-hour period,
yeah,
which is sad because both of them were right in those games.
yeah. The women's was almost a bigger shock than the men's. If they'd have pulled that off, that would have been big.
Yes, that no one expected the women's to win that game. I don't think because I think just making the
Nobody
tournament.
expected the women to get into the tournament.
I know
I was
just getting.
shocked when they got announced. I was like, "What?"
Well, no, I know. Just getting to the tournament was a huge turnaround after last season. They ended the season losing 14 straight. I think it was last year.
14 or 16. Yeah, it was a ton.
Brutal. Brutal. So to make the tournament was great. To win a game was even better. But then to be right there, potentially take down Duke on the road in North Carolina was pretty surprising.
Yeah, I watched most of the first game. Was it LSU they played? No, I forgot who they played the first game.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. That nobody, it was a 7-10. Nobody really gave Oregon much of a chance. The announcers, Oregon, they got out to like a 15-point lead, 18-point lead at one point.
Almost completely blew it.
Vanderbilt came all the way back, sent it to overtime. I thought, well, they're screwed now. And somehow they pulled out that overtime win.
Yeah, they went on like a 10-4 run or something like that in overtime to take it about like 6 or something like that.
Yeah, and then they came out against Duke and were just firing, and they were up like 8 points at the half, and then like Duke came in the third quarter. It was like 18-0 run to start the second half. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
see you next year.
They were still right in it at the very end.
They were still in it, down 4 or 5 points, but once Duke took that big shot at a halftime, it was you were fighting a pretty much losing battle at that point.
Yeah, I mean, and that's almost a similar story with the men's, because old Pac-12 game versus Arizona came out hot. It was like
19-4 start.
Yeah,
and they just went gone in a matter of like 4 minutes.
Arizona took control back, got settled to control. But again, Oregon took it to like a 1-point game very, very late in the fourth, like with like a minute and a half left to a 1-point game. Could not close it out.
No, instead of Jackson Shellstad, you run a play for Bamba, who hasn't done nothing the entire game hardly. And meanwhile, Shellstad's kept you in the game, got you back in the game. And instead of him, you're down 1 or 2 at the time having the ball, you're trying to have TJ Bamba go 1-on-3 in the paint and gets it blocked. Arizona runs down, scores, and that pretty much is the ball game.
I knew it was exact. It was just I yelled it at the stream I was watching. I was like, please don't go for the win, go for the tie. Because if you don't tie it, you're going to get down even further. And they got down like 5 points, and it was over. I was like, yep, there it is. Couldn't make they missed like 10 free throws in that game too.
Yeah.
And that
a
was
bunch
like
of free throws. Killed them.
But still, not bad. Could have gone to the Sweet 16.
25 wins. Yeah.
Dana Altman, the Rubik's Cube broke finally, but
and he's already got a couple of departures. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. There's that. He's got a couple potentially incoming. They're waiting on commitments, but next year will be interesting, especially if Biddle will come back for another year.
Yeah, if Biddle and I know there's a couple others that said they were probably coming back, so we'll see if they get the core of their guys to come back. But if guys like Bartholomew and those guys come back, they got to hit some goddamn shots. Those guys couldn't hit jack shit. Bartholomew, Mookie Cook left.
He's gone.
He couldn't hit the broadside of a barnyard. Darian Tracy couldn't hit the broadside of a barnyard all year. These are guys the last couple of years that have kept Oregon in games and won games, and
Well, even Biddle really didn't come on until like the second half of the season.
No, and then in the tournament he just was like a ghost again.
Well, the first game he was really good. Second game, for some reason he was just missing layups like crazy. It was kind of weird. Another Duck season in the books.
But
At least we have baseball.
there is good news on two sides. Baseball team was top 10 last I knew. And
Yeah, I think they still are.
And the Oregon indoor track and field women's NCAA championship team is your Oregon Ducks.
Right.
So we won another national natty in track and field. They don't call it Nike Town for a reason.
Big Ten title. 2, I believe, right? Did we? No, we didn't win the Big Ten, did we?
No.
I don't know. We won the national title. Shocker. Yeah, Ducks baseball is doing really good. 19-5 overall. Pretty good. Shocking, all of our losses have been at home. Again, they've only had 3 away games. Kind of weird. It's early in the season, though. When is Omaha?
June?
Is it June? I thought it was June.
Yeah. Like first, second week of June.
Okay. I don't pay that much attention to baseball, but hey, not a bad start to the year. Not a bad start to the year. So there is that. Hey, Spaz, do you know the other exciting news?
No.
One other, the Ducks or another certain college football team are going to get a very special surprise on May 5th.
You broke up for a minute. We're going to have a special surprise?
Us or one other school on May 5th have a very special surprise.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Because the number 1 quarterback and 5-star, Jared Curtis, will make his announcement May 5th for either Oregon or Georgia.
Well, I have a funny feeling April 26th will give us an idea. Well, if he's on the sidelines April 26th hanging out, that means we got a good shot.
That is true. I've not heard any word of that. All I know is he was at Oregon for 3 days with his parents because they're from Tennessee. So his parents going all the way out there, they loved it. They loved the staff. But then he went and spent 3 days at Georgia again, which he was committed to originally. Then he decommitted, but now it's just Oregon, Georgia. So, yeah. But he is from Tennessee, so.
We'll see. Stranger things are happening. Decorian Moore. I mean, my issue, here's my only issue with that. My only issue with that is look at the quarterback room you already have.
Yeah. Yeah. It's rough.
So Dante's going to start one season.
And he could, obviously 2 at least, but at least 1.
At least 1, maybe 2. And then you've got Keely coming in next year.
Well, he's already there.
No, he's on. Yeah,
he's there. He'll redshirt this year. He's already there.
He'll probably redshirt, but he is in the QB room this year. Yeah, and then you're going to bring in Jared Curtis along with Novostat and Moga, and somebody's not. A lot of people aren't getting playing time, and they're not going to be thrilled with that.
Well, and this is one of those things, though. This is not a bad problem to have.
No, exactly.
It's not a bad problem to have because you could have Dante say this year, maybe he's like, I'm going to test my luck. Then you have Achilles Smith, Curtis redshirts, backups, and then does 2 years on his own. It could work out. Obviously, we have Novosad. Yes, I like Novosad, and we're going to talk more about that. I may flip around this type of thing because the topic's kind of flowing. I had a detailed numbered list, Spaz, and you're screwing it up.
Going slow, man.
It's not a bad problem to have, though. Let's put it
No.
that way. Especially because the best description I've heard of Jared Curtis, like I'm not sitting here analyzing football tape. The best description I've heard of him is literally Josh Allen type stature and traits. And I'm like, we know Josh Allen. I mean, he wasn't superb at Wyoming, but obviously you see what he is now. Not
He's a
terrible
wrecking ball. You
comparison.
can't bring that guy down. And if Jared Curtis is that kind of a quarterback, brings you back to the Marcus Mariota days as far as quarterback, big, strong, athletic, can get up and down the field, can sling the ball,
And that's his thing is
speed.
He's nimble. He's nimble enough, and he can move, but he's not like a runner. He's like Dante. He's more of a pocket guy, but he's elusive.
Yeah,
So he's not like I'm going to burn you for 40 yards down the field like with his legs, but
once or twice, that's exactly how Allen is.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Gabriel too. Gabriel was a good runner, but they didn't need him to run much. But he was shifty enough.
Yeah,
just a lot smaller.
A lot smaller. Yeah.
What was he, like 5'10" and 3/4?
Try 5'8" and 3/4?
No, he was over 5'10", but still.
But if he was, it's barely. I want to see his NFL numbers.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull that.
Was that his combine numbers?
Yeah, I think it was like 5'10" and 3/4, something like that. Point is,
that's not as.
Yeah, he's a shorter quarterback. I mean, he's a short quarterback. Troy brings up a good point. This was something I heard a lot today and yesterday. Was Jared Curtis going to Georgia? Because again, he committed there originally, decommitted, and then it's just between Oregon and Georgia. And obviously Tennessee, Georgia, right there. And a lot of people are asking, like, well, what about those reckless driving from Georgia? Because another guy just got arrested for reckless driving. And most people were like, for the quarterback, for Curtis, it won't matter at all. But for his parents, maybe that would have an influence. But even then, I don't think so.
We don't want you around a bunch of thugs.
Damn, Kirby's got to do something down there. Jeez. What is it?
Yeah.
How many guys is this now?
Like 10?
Something in the last 2 years?
It's a lot. It's close to 10 probably.
Didn't one of them literally run into the side of a house?
Yes. That was the latest one.
That was the latest one? Okay, I saw the photo.
That was the latest one. Yeah, he ran into the house, out of somebody's house.
25. It's a lot.
25?
I don't think it's 25, but it's a lot. I know it's at least 10. Yeah, it is.
Is that a serious number, Troy? Because I know it's a lot. That number, believe it or not, would not surprise me.
It's every 3 months. There's another one. It's just absurd. But at the same time, some people have said, at the same time, Oregon's not dealing with this, so that also could be good. In a positive way to go, hey, there's control of the program. Because apparently Georgia is not having any control.
Troy, is that a serious number? That would make me die laughing even harder.
Okay. Georgia players.
25 incidents and 24 wins over the past 24 games. That's right. I saw somebody post something like that on Twitter the other day. 25 driving incidents in 2 years.
Okay, yeah, because the last one I see is that was Young, and that was the 8th, but that was just of 2024, up at that point in 2024. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bunch more.
Insane.
Yeah. 2 years, not 24 games. Yeah, 2 years in general. Oops. I'm trying to find this for stats.
But yeah, let's see. Yeah, I mean, you'd have.
Oh, I apologize, Spaz. I was incorrect. I shortchanged Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel's NFL combine height was 5'11" and 1/8 of an inch.
Oh,
I apologize, Dylan, for calling you 5'10" and 3/4. I apologize. He's still short.
we need to get him on the show, though.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but we could definitely try. Speaking of Dylan Gabriel, and I don't have a lot to say about the pro day, but I know you've seen it. That group of studs.
Yeah, did you see who else took a picture with that group of studs?
Well, I know Will Stein did.
Yeah.
Well, he took it with Bo and Gabriel. Obviously not Herbert.
No. Sports Chat 503.
Oh yeah. I saw his. Yeah, I saw Ryan's photo. I just found this interesting because they were like, "Damn, the only one we're missing is Mariota."
Yeah.
Who was busy re-signing his contract for the Commanders.
Tell me those two aren't scouting for Denver and the Chargers for a backup quarterback. Oh. Tell me they're not scouting.
Is the Chargers backup still Easton Stick?
Probably.
I mean, he's been there, 3 or 4 years? So he's a pretty solid backup. Who do the Broncos have? Is it
Jared Stidham?
Yeah, the old Baylor and Auburn quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember his name. I was like,
they just re-signed him.
Oh, okay. I mean, he's been in the league for 10 years? 8, 9, 10
Yeah,
years?
quite a while.
He's been, I was like, it's been a while since he's been in college. Well, the Broncos are also trying to get everyone under the sun in the sense of, obviously talking about Ferguson. Now the Broncos are even potentially looking at Tez Johnson.
Yeah, they want more
Oregon
guys
players
for Bo to throw to.
Well, more Oregon players. Oregon's just going to start running the Broncos franchise at some point.
Yeah, that could possibly be. But I mean, they do have, they did keep Cousins.
Yeah. I was like, what's his name? They're $10 million signee or whatever that they benched.
10 is like $100 million.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but
it was a big contract.
That wasn't, I don't think that was guaranteed. I think it was upper of.
A good chunk of it was guaranteed.
Yeah, it was good because when they drafted Penix, everyone was like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. One of their guys got fired because of that.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, dude, Cousins is not bad. But I could see maybe pulling Gabriel for like a third string potential to move into a backup because we saw it this last year. Going right-handed to a left-handed quarterback is not easy. So if you're game playing around a left-handed quarterback, having a backup left-handed quarterback, probably not a bad idea. You don't have to change the game plan. Yeah, if they can get a good deal, probably. If they do draft. Gabriel's not going to at least like the late third to mid fourth, probably. Because even Tez Johnson's draft is not to like late third to fourth. Kind of like Troy Franklin.
Yeah, but I've heard Ted's moving up boards too.
That is true. It depends on what they want. That's what I've been seeing, anyways. They're looking at maybe 78th overall. That's what it's saying right here, potentially for the Cardinals. But again, it just depends on team need where they fall. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
We're gonna have a lot of guys there this year.
Oh yeah,
Connerly's projected as a late first round pick. Cornelius is early second round, is what they're saying.
Hartman's first round. I mean, Connerly could definitely go earlier. Same with Cornelius if people really want them.
Yeah,
This is definitely an O line and D line draft.
Connerly's going in the 20s, probably. That's what I'm seeing a lot of.
That's reasonable. I think that would be reasonable. Still first round. You'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I left this banner for a long time. Well, so then let's move on with that. So you were talking about this fast. Because according to Dan Lanning, this is an open quarterback competition. It is Novosad versus Dante Moore versus Luke Moga. They need to give Luke Moga just packages to run on the goal line.
They should.
Just give him like power or like read options on the goal line. Just do that. But according to Lanning, this is an open competition. Everyone's going to get their best because everyone's been raving about Novosad. As much as we've heard good things about Dante Moore, everyone's still very positive and high on Novosad, which I can understand. He's been there.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's Dante's job
To lose, basically?
Yeah, to lose, exactly.
I mean, I think we're both pretty comfortable in thinking it's Dante Moore. That's why he came and sat for a year. But Novosad has been there. And I could agree here with Kinnick. I think he does. When they got him back to Oregon and he was going to sit willingly to learn, I think that pretty much said they're prepping him to take the role.
Absolutely, yeah.
But again, Dan Lanning said it's an open competition. Everyone's spoken highly of both quarterbacks. So, I don't know. I mean,
it would not surprise me if whoever ends up third out of that ends up hitting the portal.
Well,
it wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know what prospects like a Luke Moga has elsewhere. I'm sure he could go to a group of 5 school easily. But I don't know. I think it is. I think it's an open competition. But I do see we both have said Dante Moore is probably going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Unless he just literally can't stop throwing interceptions. If he's going to keep up that, yeah, he's not going to be the starter. Not for long, anyway. So let's put it that way.
Has anybody seen that Italian guy lately?
Who?
I haven't heard from him.
Who?
Hope he's alive. Did the mob get him?
Oh shit! Oh, Patrol Nation's here, all the way from down under.
I didn't do it.
What's going on, Patrol? We're just talking some ducks.
Bruh, you're smoking some heavy drugs there, Frankie. If you think Brock Thomas is gonna,
yeah, I don't. Brock Thomas has been number 4, I think, in the depth. I mean, him and Moga are like 3A, 3B, but I think Thomas is technically 4. I think because he was a walk-on too.
Correct.
So, Moga was at least recruited from Arizona, or the state of Arizona, not the school Arizona, but just doing some editing, walking away. That was not an attempt at an accent. Don't worry. Well, thinking of transfers, Spaz, since you just brought that up. Do you know what Oregon has a good thing going for them, though?
What's that?
If I'm not mistaken, the spring transfer portal opens April 15th and closes April 25th.
Oh.
When does Oregon have the spring game?
April 26th.
The transfer portal is closed. So if you're at the spring game, you're stuck.
This is possibly true.
It's like you're stuck. I mean, otherwise
Yeah,
you're dropping out.
unless you've already put in your paperwork, but yet you're going to end up getting some time to have some current video on. There could be a thing worked out there where you've already put your paperwork in effective.
You can get, I guess you could get an exception because the spring game falls after the portal. Maybe they can give you like a few day extension, but you've got to get it pre-approved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe they got a guy that has said, look, can I at least get some current video to help me going forward.
Yeah, and that's possible. But yeah, the portal itself, in the common sense of it, is closed by Oregon spring game. So, which is kind of funny, in a way. Because the one thing too is gone on, and maybe this is part of it, was that, Dan Lanning has openly said, as long as I'm the coach, there will always be a spring game. He is not backing down from that. He is sticking with it.
A lot of teams are going away from that, going to a more like fan appreciation day.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, the Oregon spring game, it's a spring game. Spring games are exciting for people wanting to see the new guys, see the returners, just that kind of thing. We know it's just kind of a showcase. We know that. Yes, that's true, Connect. You can do that. But I mean, if you enter the portal, your likelihood then of getting spring reps, because the team's already probably considering you're halfway out the door, It's a risk you take. Last year, the portal was wild.
That's what the Penn State quarterback did. Remember, he had already entered the portal going before the playoffs and was still on the roster and played.
Well, not up until the no, he didn't play in the playoffs. He had to leave because the portal closed.
I know he was still on the roster for a couple of games.
I don't think he was there though, or not active.
I could have sworn they were even talking about it. Yeah, Devin Brown entered the portal.
Well, that's Ohio
State through the playoffs.
That's Ohio State. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about Prebula. Prebula?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he active? Was he active, Kinetic?
Yeah.
Next saying he was active. I don't think he played though. Because there was that whole mess of that because of the whole playoff and portal dates and all that crap for the transfer portal.
Troy said he was the active backup for.
Well, Kinetic said he was active. Then Troy said he was active, and maybe Devin Brown. I don't know. Either way, he didn't get in there, so that I'm aware of. Or I recall.
Devin Brown played a couple of plays, I believe.
Well, Devin Brown. We're talking about Prebula. You talked Penn State first, then you went on to Devin Brown.
Yeah,
you can't flip flop teams. on
Well,
me
because I
like
think
that.
they both had a quarterback in the portal during the playoffs.
Yeah, I thought Purvula left.
Let me look.
Devin
Let's see.
Brown might be different, but I think Purvula left Penn State. At least again, I don't think he played. Let's put it that way. He didn't play at all for Beulah.
No, he didn't even take a snap.
Yeah. So
let's see.
The transfer portal.
Yeah, he played in the Oregon game. He took 3 snaps for 12 yards rushing.
Yeah, yes, but we're talking for the playoffs.
Right.
That was the Big Ten championship, yes.
And I believe the portal was open then.
Yeah, but I think it didn't close till a certain time, and then Aller said he was coming back. And that's when Purvula said, "Well, then I got to go." But he had to make a decision to enter, and then I think he just walked away from the program at that point. If I remember my information correctly, because I know there was a huge fucking shit show about it, of people saying how bad the portal was, the timing of it, and all that.
Yeah.
So could be mistaken, but that's what I recall, at least when it comes to Purvula. Damn it! Stuff it, paper.
I thought Brown took a snap or 2 in the.
Yeah, Ohio State played like one game. They played 3 QBs. They even give like the third string like a rep.
Yeah, but they didn't play nobody in there.
Well,
I don't
know, but for Oregon, I think that's kind of one of the things is like, yes, you can say you can enter the portal, get some tape, decide to go or come back or whatever if they want you back. But I think a lot of people, if they haven't left before the spring game, are probably going to be there still.
That's what I was looking at earlier. Damn it!
What were you looking at?
Max.
Oh.
Yeah, he put a video out about Jared Curtis.
Of course he would. Obviously, when it literally is Oregon and Georgia up for the number 1 quarterback in 2026, of course he's got to put a video out about it.
Hold on, I'm going to mute up and listen to it for a minute.
All right, that's fine. Well, he can do that while I rant and rave about USC. Hey, USC, shut the hell up. Stop talking about getting commitments in March. Let's see how many stick around till signing day. Then run your mouths. And how about you win more than 7 games? That'd be good. All right, I'm done. Quick pause for refill while Spaz does other things, including shoving food into his mouth. Anyways, yeah, spring game will be fun. Hey, in the chat too, whoever's still here, Kinetic Troy, any of those, Frankie, what do you guys think of this whole with the spring games getting shut down? Refill. I can't multitask. With the spring games getting shut down, most notably, of course, especially from Nebraska. Now, I heard Ohio State's going to bring the spring game back. They were going to do just a showcase, whatever that means. But I guess the spring game's back on for Ohio State, so that's good. But USC, multiple other schools, Texas, killing the spring game. What have you thought about if you've heard the idea that Dion came up with about playing other teams? Whereas Dion said it, and then Fran Brown from Syracuse is like, hey, we'll come down for 3 days and play you guys. What do you guys think about that? I'm a little torn on that type of thing. Like basically playing a non-con, non-scheduled team in the spring. I'm a little torn on that. Well, of course, Matt Rule said he wasn't doing it because of tampering, losing players in the portal, which he did last year. He did lose players. Also, he lost like 2 to injury for the entire year. Injuries happen, so I can understand that a little bit. And yeah, Troy, I heard that today. It was back on. I was like, good. Yes, yeah, kinetic. This is what I was hearing a lot about. I was like, because you still have to follow like the rules. But apparently, Colorado and Syracuse have filed paperwork to potentially get this going. Now, not for this year. Obviously, that's not going to happen. That's going to take a while. But yeah, I don't know how they would do this though. That just seems like a logistical nightmare. I kind of get the excitement behind it, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it because some people were thinking, "Hey, let's do like Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma, bring back Bedlam." But I'm like, that seems very hostile for a spring game. Do a rivalry game for a spring game. That seems pretty brutal. There was the other one was why not instead of FCS in the regular season for a lot of teams, play them in your spring game. They still get a check to help their athletic department, and you get to play a different competitor.
Like Portland State or something.
Yeah, and do that for a spring game. They get their check, and you get a game. I kind of see that. I think it has to be something logistically it makes sense. You can't have Syracuse flying to Colorado for a spring game. That would make no sense to me. I get it. TV people said money drives everything. So TV would TV want to play and promote Colorado versus Syracuse for a spring game? Sure. But I bet Colorado could play Colorado State instead.
Yeah.
Or whatever, Northern Arizona or Northern Colorado or whatever other FCS Colorado school is. I can't even think of one right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, just listen to the deal with Max. So, apparently, initially, Jared Kurz was talking about doing his commitment the end of March. By the end of March, before the spring games and showcases came up. So, at that point, everything was kind of really leaning towards Oregon. And now that he went back to both schools again, it's like,
Yeah.
And then he moved it out again. And not just that, but they moved things around, and he could end up coming back out here and or Georgia for one more visit. Nothing's lined up yet, but it is very possible that now he may want one more extended visit to both programs. Maybe he wants to check their showcase and our spring game out, and then make a decision like 2 weeks later.
That kind of makes sense with the timeline. I mean, kind of double check.
But Georgia's also been digging deep on a lot of other 26 quarterbacks, whereas Oregon hasn't. The only other 26 de facto commit that Oregon's been looking at is Ryder Lyons, the Southern California kid.
Well, Ryder Lyons is
technically 27, but he reclassified to 26.
And then he's going to do his LDS mission.
Correct.
For the 1 year.
Which says
I was going to say he fits in our timeline also though perfectly with Dante Akili Smith then you have Ryder Lyons. But now USC is picking up traction with him, and I'm like, but if we're going after Jared Curtis, then you have to kind of like wage, you got to get one or the other, basically.
Yeah. If you get Jared Curtis, you're in pretty good shape. And most people seem to think that because of Oregon's commit issues that he might. Why would Ryder go to Michigan? Does he even have an offer there?
Michigan wants everyone.
Well, yeah.
No more Tom. No more Tom.
Bryce,
is that their 4-star while we're going after 5 stars? Got it.
Yeah.
Good job, USC.
Yeah, good job, USC. You stole one. Congrats.
We'll wait till actual signing day, and if you win 7 games,
that is true.
Yeah, Riders is heavy between BYU's in there. I know Michigan's still in there, Oregon, and then USC. USC's been coming on strong for Ryder Lions. Yeah, I mean, hey. But yeah, Oregon's got to get one because we lost out on one. But having Jared Curtis be the other potential, you're going to take it. So
no, you stole a 4-star. Big deal. Tampering. Trojans are tampering.
Again, they have to win first before we even worry about it. Once again, as I said on Twitter, USC hasn't been relevant since Clay Helton. Let that sink in.
Yeah, maybe. But what about the backup to Bryce right now? What's his name? Herb Street?
Well, Herb Street, but they got the guy from not Fresno State, San Jose State, was it? He's played for 1 or 2 years, and they brought him in. Jaden Davis. Thank you. Oh no, Mikey Keene. That's the one.
And Chase Herb Street,
they have plenty of guys. Mikey Keene has, I think, the most experience. But so he I don't know. I've heard he might be the starter, and just kind of go from there. Like, don't throw Underwood totally under the bus,
Michigan needs to pick a lane and just go for it. None of this flip flop like they did last year. Pick a lane and go for it. Ride it or die it.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I meant. I was like, Keeneland might start and kind of ease Underwood into it, maybe, or at least he'll be a good potential backup if Underwood totally
if Keene gets hurt,
or if Underwood is sinking or something like that. Like, don't destroy his confidence, kind of thing, and get him out of there.
What else we got?
Another good thing we talked about it. We've talked about it a few times. And something that I heard some other people talking about, not specifically with Oregon, but with some other teams, is I know we have very high, lofty expectations, but are we have too high of expectations for Decorian Moore this year?
I don't. I think he's Jeremiah Smith 2.0. They're almost the same.
Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to get. We know our wide receiver room. We've got plenty of guys. Decorian's obviously extremely talented, has a high potential. But when you immediately try to classify him as he's this 2.0 or the same as that, what if he doesn't match that? You're just like, putting a lot of pressure on him. And then if he only gets like, say, 500 yards receiving this season, is that going to be
what was that
bad?
backup? What was that backup 5-star QB we had that never played?
The one who's a tight end now at Tulane?
Yeah, that guy.
Ty Thompson?
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's what I mean. Is I think that there's sometimes it's like, because I can't remember the stat. The last time the best Oregon freshman wide receiver in the last,
He will blow all the freshman receiving records out of the water.
no, I know,
easily.
but the best one in the last like 10 years was like 800 yards. I think
that might be best ever.
Yeah, 700 or 800 yards, and I think that was Mitchell. I think.
Yeah, it might have been, but this kid's gonna blow those numbers away.
Well, I know, but I mean, again, if we're expecting these high things, we're giving this lofty praise, which again, I'm not saying are not unwarranted in some regards. It's not necessarily bad on him as a player, maybe, but it's the high expectations for the fan, and then seeing it and go, oh, disappointment.
If Dante can throw the ball and throw it accurately, DeCorian's going to get 800 to 1,000 yards and a half a dozen to 10 touchdowns.
I have to stop you. I have to stop you. Just read this. Coming from the team that benched their starting quarterback to start a transfer. I guess they forgot my eye was a transfer.
Yeah, so that makes what relevance?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
and Dante Dante's a transfer, but he was committed to Oregon before.
Yeah, he was a 5-star coming out of high school.
And he was committed to Oregon to begin with. He just didn't want to sit behind Bo Nix.
Yeah. And he admittedly basically stated, that he made a mistake and he should have came here and sat that first year and learned. And he said that was a hard lesson that he had to learn.
Yeah. So, and I can respect that. So, he's gotten the tutelage.
He's proven he just didn't win a lot of games, but he did win a few games.
And he kept throwing interceptions, but
they had nobody to throw to.
He
doesn't have DeCorian Moore.
UCLA had some okay receivers that year. They had some okay receivers.
Yeah, they didn't have what Oregon's got. Oregon's got a plethora of receivers, tight ends, running backs. Tredavian Bell today was amazing.
Moss was giving her a chance, yeah, except for Lincoln Riley's play calling. All right, yeah, I think I just hope people don't expect too much from DeCorian. Like he's gonna play a lot.
Go get Tim and come in here with that fight. Go get Prangley. We ain't seen him in a while.
Talk about the average depth of throw for 2 years. Well, I mean, I don't know. Bo Nix is doing pretty well in the NFL, so
yeah.
Says anything, I guess Gabriel will do okay too.
I think Gabriel threw a 70-yard on the dot. Fucking throw in the pro day the other day.
Yeah, that was well, yeah, even at the combine,
70 yards on a fly.
Even at the combine, he threw a nice like 65 yarder. That was pretty nice. But Nix has a better arm, I think, still than Gabriel, but he's also a lot taller than Gabriel.
Right.
That's Gabriel's downside. He's on the short side for NFL quarterbacks. No, we don't need more to do
It's
screen
not
passes.
gonna
We have
be
Kenyon. We
screen
have Kenyon
passes.
Sadiq for that.
There's going to be a difference in the play calling system this year.
Yeah,
That was
please.
designed because Gabriel's is small, so it's harder for him to see over the line as much as quick as others. So it was much easier to call a lot of bubbles and screens than it was downfield routes for him.
Oh, and also Trojan Fight. This is to be. I'm actually being serious about this. Please go tell the USC channel. Keep making dumb videos about how to learn how they know how to cook Oregon now next year when they haven't seen a playbook and they have different players. Please keep telling them to make dumb videos like that. It's awesome.
Oh, are they making dumb videos?
After the Ohio State game, they're like, Ohio State shows the game plan to cook the Ducks. I'm like,
oh,
are you talking about 11 months almost?
yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? That was after the. I just said, tell them to keep doing those.
They haven't been live in a month.
A lot of
Tim
channels
get COVID or something.
A lot of channels haven't been live. It's just that downtime of the year.
This is our first
in a month.
Live in a month, yeah.
Everyone needs that kind of like downtime to just reset the mind and take in just all the different information. But yeah, I just don't want people to get too high on expectations for Decorey Moore. Like, let him do his thing. Let him grow. Get experience at the college level. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, exactly. I know you guys do because y'all got nothing else to do up there. What the fuck is there to do?
Yeah, this is kind of why we didn't push it for a little bit. We kept pushing it back a little bit. We're like, it's fine. It's fine. Otherwise, we were literally just talking about the same like 3 or 4 topics on repeat. And I'm like, I'm bored of talking about the same thing over and over and over again.
That might be interesting to do, though. Maybe once we get going in the spring some more, we'll get Tim and Matt to do a show on recruiting battle. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, we'll obviously know some more info too, especially like with Jared Curtis and stuff like that. And we'll have some better ideas and more info will come out from some unofficial visits, I'm sure, over the summer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Get a much better idea. It's still early. That's why I'm like, we're not celebrating March commitments, you know?
No. How many times did Corey Moore say he was going to go here and then not there? And
I don't know, but he's solidly on campus and practicing, so and loving it.
Yeah.
So. I do want to hear more about the quarterbacks. I haven't seen a ton outside of just good competition, and both of them are showing good things.
I think practice resumes on Monday. Yeah, I think Monday.
Yeah. This is the spring break week, isn't it?
I think so. But there's still guys working out and doing shit because they're putting videos and pictures up daily.
Yeah.
Decorey Moore, Tradeon Bell, a bunch of them have been putting up content all week.
Okay. Spring break is 22nd to the 30th of March. Yeah. So everywhere is different. Everywhere has their spring break different. So it's like it's hard to remember when everyone's.
Yeah, I think Oregon resumes May 5th.
Yeah, May 5th, Jordan. May 5th.
Oregon, I believe, resumes practice on Monday.
That would make sense. So the first day back, at least do a warm up.
Or Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
Might be full day Tuesday or whatever.
yeah,
Give
maybe
guys
Monday's
everybody
even a little bit of
chance.
a warm up or something like that, a gym day or something like that. Yeah. All right.
Have you seen how big fucking Decorian Moore is getting though in the weight room?
God damn.
Jesus, that kid's getting big.
Just his practice photos that he posts, you see
Yeah,
his legs. I'm like this. Good
jacked.
Lord. Like,
Yeah,
you're a fucking 18-year-old wide receiver. It's like a damn tight end.
yeah, he
He's
looks a
like a
lot like
Sadiq.
Sadiq.
He's like a Sadiq 2.0, but a little more ripped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and shocking news also coming out of spring practice. Will Stein said it will be an emphasis this year to get Sadiq the ball more. Shocker.
Yeah,
Shocker.
shocker.
Well, he's tied in number one. Of course, he's going to get the ball more. He's tied in number one now.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Will Stein. Good stuff. Oh, we have to pay attention to Will Stein, though. There's going to be a hot name coming up as Stanford fired Troy Taylor yesterday.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, Andrew Luck fired Troy Taylor.
Andrew Luck fired Troy Taylor. We will not tolerate sexual misconduct on campus, sir.
It was
You're outta here.
It was just harassment, apparently. It wasn't actually like. It was like harassment slash misconduct, as in a sense of like offensive wording and jokes or something like that. It wasn't actually like harassment.
Ass grabbing.
But it was like, but it was like his the second time. They signed a thing in like September or October last year saying if this continues, we will fire you. And he signed it, and they did another investigation, and they're like, "You're out." Could we see interim coach?
Guess who's in?
No one right now.
David Shaw.
Shut the fuck up. I know. I heard some. Damn it. Tom Fernelli said that earlier. He's like, I know who's available. A certain passing coordinator from the Detroit Lions. And people were like, huh? And he's like, David Shaw. And they're like, oh my God. I was like, bring it back. Bring it back.
Andrew Luck's going to reincarnate.
Well, people said Andrew Luck should be the interim this year. Because it's right before spring. You know, maybe Andrew Luck should just be like an interim for a year. I don't know if he'd want to do that. But people brought up, of course, Will Stein. You know, going after a hot young coach. Sacramento State's coach is on the list. Shocking because Troy Taylor came from Sacramento State. Bring it back.
Yeah.
Oh man, if Stanford brought back David Shaw, David Shaw would probably not want to go back. I mean, he just kind of got gently nudged out the door, you know. I don't know if he'd want to go back. Why? He's like a passing coordinator in the NFL. Why would you go back and deal with all the college stuff? I'm sure he has lots of money. I'm sure he's making a pretty comfortable living doing that. You know,
Detroit, California,
Palo Alto,
Ocean, Shit City.
Yeah, but again, to go back to the grind of being a college coach these days, Jesus. It takes a special person to be a college coach these days. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
But Will Stein's on the list. A bunch of other, you know, up-and-coming OCs. And, you know, one of the good ones they kept saying is Jeff Monken. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy already deals with the grind of Army. What? Coaching at Stanford probably is easier. I don't know if he'd want to leave though, but that's a name that makes sense for Stanford. A guy like that. All right. Spaz, do you have any other thoughts or topics or conversational points?
No, I think I'm about wraps it up for me.
You're going into your food coma now.
Yeah. Why do you have more?
How many more topics do you want to go over? No, I'm kidding. That was all of them. Look at
Yeah, I
that.
figured about an hour. Hey, at least we got enough. At least we got some content.
That's what happens when you're professionals.
Yeah, we'll between us we can both reach out to Max and
Yeah,
maybe
well,
Spencer.
yeah, we'll be working on some guests. Maybe get Nick Cody back on some point. Maybe.
Yeah, Nick was at the NCAA tournament.
Oh, okay.
Him and Ryan Winters and a bunch of them took pictures hanging out with some of the Duck fans in Seattle. Next year,
well, the Duck fans had to be there because there were no Husky fans there. Obviously,
yeah.
they didn't even make the tournament.
Next year, the first 2 rounds are in Portland of the men's tournament.
Oh, okay.
So if Oregon has another good year, like this year, makes it back, very good chance they could get placed out here in the West region.
Yeah. I mean, Seattle wasn't a bad place for Oregon to be playing at.
No,
not bad at all. Not like the women who had to go to North Carolina.
Portland would be great too.
The rioting.
Not so bad anymore.
I have no idea.
No.
Yeah, I have no idea about this.
No, they're stuck in the tournament boat mode.
Nah. I was like, I have no idea. Yeah. We'll be working some guests. We'll be doing some a lot more content coming up with the spring coming on. Next week I think we could go live again. Just because I think there'll be some news coming out of spring, spring break. I think we'll have a little more info.
And here he is.
Back again.
Jackson. Got to get that plug. That's right.
I would have the banner, but people messed up the StreamYard and deleted everything and moved stuff around. So, and that is right. Everyone, please go over to X and follow the Voice of College Football over on X. Make sure to subscribe to that, as well as all the other creators for the Voice of College Football. That's my promotional plug for social media accounts. Thank you for the reminder, Jackson. All right. Well, then we'll be back next week, I guess, and we'll be seeing what news comes out of spring ball as they start ramping it up, because it's getting close. Looking forward to
We're under 150 days till the first game.
You shut your damn mouth.
And I'll be there.
I was talking about spring ball, damn it.
31 days.
30 at this point, basically. Let's just call it that.
I'll be there too.
There you go. Spaz. Then will you take a moment to tell people where they can follow you online if they want to?
That place right there.
So close.
Look at that. Look at that.
He's out of practice. That's why.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, you can find me at Sean Spaz Drag on X, Twitter, Instagram, Rocky Classic. Yeah. And pretty much it. 157 days. My bad. I was a week off.
Oh, so no. And outside of Spaz, that's right. I'm just Ben again. Ben Explorer with Ben and Sam right on our YouTube. Or you can find me Explorer with Ben on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And looking forward to spring ball, though.
Spit
Looking
on that
forward
thing, too.
Looking forward to no hawk tooing. No hawk tooing.
Thank you, Jackson.
So what we'll do is we will be paying attention the rest of this week and the beginning of next week, and we will see you guys next Wednesday to talk more Oregon spring ball. And other than that, I guess all we can say is thank you for joining, and you all have a great rest of your week, and look forward to seeing you next Wednesday night.
None. Ben was too cheap to make any.
How dare you? Oh, yeah. Go Ducks.